Hi, and welcome to Clappier. In this video, we will see how to capture ratings for your application with the help of the ratings block that is available in Clappier. Let's see how to use this with the help of an example. Over here, I have already created an application earlier for a customer satisfaction form. It captures customer details as well as the questions to get the customer's ratings. The only thing missing is the ratings itself, so let's see how to add this option. We click on Design App where you can edit your app. You can see all your earlier fields. Now you can either click on Add Field or on the plus symbol that appears on every block. Now since I want the ratings to appear underneath each of the question, I will click on the plus symbol here and then click on Ratings. This ratings block can be configured on the right hand panel that has appeared over here. There are two options, Basic and Advanced, for configuring. The first thing I will do is to give a label name. Since it's already mentioned as ratings, I will leave it as it is, but you can always change it. You can also give a description for your field. This helps a user to know what exactly they need to input. You can mention something simple like please capture the correct customer ratings. Since it's self-explanatory, I will just leave it as blank for now. You can select your emojis and the corresponding values for your ratings. If you would like to change the look, you can click on this and select your preferred emoji. You can also change the value. It could be either a negative or a positive value. You can also decrease or increase the amount of emojis that you need for your ratings with your values. You can choose the size of your emojis. By default, it is always selected as minimum, which you can see over here. If you wish to increase the size, you can just drag the slider option over here, click on Save, and you can see that the rating size has now increased. For now, I will keep it as minimum. Underneath the ratings, you can see a not applicable option. For your particular use case, if you think this is not relevant, you can always disable this option. We have the option of required. When a person is filling in the application and you do not want them to miss out on filling in this field before submitting, you can enable this option. When you click on Save, you can see the red asterisk mark has appeared. This ensures that this is a required field to fill in. Let's see how this block works in the app. We click on App Home and you can see now that the ratings block has appeared. If you fill in all the details in your app but you miss out on filling in the ratings block and then click on Submit, you can see an error message has appeared. This is because it is a required field. Now we go back to Design App to see further configurations. We click on Advanced Options and see Display this field if. Now over here you can implement logic and conditions. If you have worked with spreadsheets earlier, I'm sure you would know that you can implement conditions like if, else, or etc. The same thing can be done on Clappier as well. We share the same syntax. In place of cell numbers, we have the concept of variable names to implement, which you can find at the top of every field in brackets. For this particular example, if the purchase made is selected as yes, only then would you like to capture the customer's ratings. But if the purchase made is no, then you do not want the ratings block to show up. We can implement such a logic over here. So we type in @ purchase made, which is this, purchase made. And you can see it is auto-populated, equals to yes. That means if the purchase made is selected as yes, only then will the ratings appear. This will be implemented in your app. We click on Save, and now that the ratings block has been finally configured, we can see that it is only there for underneath customer service. There are 4 more questions as well, and if we need the same type of configurations and you do not want to go through the entire process, just click on the ratings block and then you can just copy this block. Once we click on copy, you can see another ratings block has appeared with the same type of configurations that we have done earlier. Click on Advanced and you can see the same logic is implemented. I have only 2 ratings block and there are 3 more questions to be filled in. Let's copy this 3 more times. Now that we have copied all the ratings for all the questions, you want to keep the ratings underneath each of the questions. So you can simply drag and drop each of the ratings underneath the respective questions. So you can do it as so. You can also drag and drop every other field that is there in your application. Now that we have dragged all the ratings underneath each of the questions, for the last particular question, likely to recommend, I would also like an additional option to be mentioned, such as never, as in never likely to recommend. So over here, if I click on this particular ratings block, I scroll down, and over here I will enable this not applicable option. But instead of not applicable, I can change the name to never. You can also give an associated value, could be either negative or positive as well. For now, I'll just keep it as 0. You can see that the never option has appeared over here. So now let's see how this works in your app. We go back to app home. Now you can see none of the rating block has appeared on your app. That is because we have configured it as so. So if you select purchase made as no, nothing happens. But if it is selected as yes, then you can see all the ratings appear. Now if you want to give an overall rating, we can go back to the design app, and since we associate each value with the emojis, you can actually calculate all the ratings based on this. So what we do is we click on add field, and then we click on calculations and logic. So over here for label name, I will type in overall rating. And for the formula, I will be giving in the average formula, which will be all the ratings divided by 5, since there are 5 ratings. So I will just mention that over here. Then we click on save. This calculations and logic block will be covered in another video, so don't forget to check that out. So now let's see how this overall app actually works. We go to app home. Now we fill in all the details. Click on the date, purchase made will be yes, and now we can select our ratings. So now once I start giving in the ratings, you can see that the overall rating has started to change. So now since I've selected everything as 5, it's 5 out of 5. If I select never, it goes to 4. If I give another random value, it starts to change based on the calculation. So now we can submit this particular information. Once you submit your information, all your submissions can be viewed under the Submissions tab. Once you click on a submission, you can get a right-hand panel that captures all the information that was submitted earlier. Now over here, you can see if I start clicking in on the ratings, I'll be able to change it over here. But if you do not want this to happen, you can go back to your design app. And now just for one particular ratings, I'll click on it, go to the advanced option. Now we have the option allow value to be changed after initial submission. So after we submit, you do not want to make any changes to the submission, you can have this option as disabled. Click on save. Now let's see how it works in your submissions tab. So we go back to submissions and we click on a submission. Now over here, if I try to click on the last ratings, I am unable to do so because we have configured it. But if I change the other ratings, I am able to do so as well. If you want to download this particular submission, or you want to download all the submissions that you might have, you can click on the download option that is available over here. If you have any doubts in configuring the ratings block or any other feature in general in Clapier, you can always request support by clicking on the option over here, or you can email us directly to support@clapier.com and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you.